Hello, hello everyone. I'm sorry I'm coming a little bit late. I was trying to set up my StreamYard. Hello, please, if you come across this video, kindly subscribe to support this channel. So today I said I was going to talk about Kevin Samuel's ideology. If it comes to, we know who Kevin Samuels is. Kevin Samuel is a YouTuber that just passed. He had over 1 million subscribers. Let me just talk a little bit about Kevin Samuels. I knew him in depth. I didn't know of Kevin Samuel when he was alive. I knew him in depth. Hello. He passed May 5th of 2022. Samuel rose to social media fame for videos like these with controversial relationship and dating advice, offering highly critical remarks about women, many of whom were Black. He actually talked about Black American women. You determine their value based on their appearance, age, income, and number of children. How old was Kevin Samuels? If you go to the internet, some are saying 56, some are saying 53. So on this live, I'm just going to talk about, the topic of this live video. The topic of this my live video says, what would be Kevin Samuel's ideology about women in Africa? What would be Kevin Samuel's ideology about women in Africa? Because I have listened to some of his broadcasts, I've listened to some of his videos where he talked about the Black American women, you know. How about, let us compare that with women in Africa. So I'm just going to analyze the last video that Kevin Samuel did before he passed with the women in Africa. I have watched that video over and over again. Kelvin Samuel. But you did the behavior, you're like, well, unbeknownst to me. The man didn't divorce you after an argument. So this is the last video he did. So I'm just going to start from, yes. I want to analyze this video in regard to, because he talked about the sorry, he talked about the Black American women, right? So let's talk about women in Africa. Interesting conversation, interesting questions. One thing over and over, I'm not going to settle. I became this woman over here, therefore I deserve this man over here. Well, ladies, like I tell every one of you, men don't care about what you have. Mm-hmm.
We care about who you are. And your master's, your PhD, your property, your car, whatever, is not not what men choose on. But see, here's the problem. Women will continue to talk to each other, hype their head up, blow their head up, let women say, well, girl, you shouldn't wait. You should do this. You should do that. The guy you're with right now, he's a good guy. But you know what? You, you don't settle for him. What happened to that lawyer you were dating 3 years ago? What happened? You used to could date guys on this level. Why are you gonna get with this guy who's give him a title, third shift at the plant? Why are you gonna get with this guy who's a firefighter when back in college you was pulling this and that? Women judge from the highest man they were ever able to deal with. And deal with means simply this: he showed her some attention, possibly gave her some sex, and she thought that automatically adjusted her level. That's why I'm starting to see hellified basic chicks, hellified basic, from the way they look, talking about, I'm not going to settle for a broke man. I want a rich man. I want.
So he said, women will say, I'm not going to settle for a broke man. I want a rich man. Yes, I know most women will say that. I don't think any woman will want to settle for a broke man. Yes, naturally, most women will not want to settle for a broke man. They want to settle for a man that is well off, a man that is rich, a man that is doing well. Rich in what context though? That is a man that will be able to take care of you, take care of your children, right? That's the man you want to settle for. But let's compare that to the African woman. The African woman might not even look at whether you are that rich. No, the African woman will want to settle with you. The African woman, that in that context, that African woman will want to settle for a man that she knows that can take care of her, that can take care of her needs. But what I'm saying I'm trying to compare this because women in Africa will settle. What do they get in return after they have settled?
This lifestyle, and I'm like, you do realize you can set whatever price you want to in the market. That's your choice. But you do realize the market, like YouTube, like Instagram, the market is like YouTube and Instagram. Anybody can get a YouTube channel. Anybody can create an Instagram channel.
Yes.
Anybody can go to YouTube, create a channel, and post content.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because you have a YouTube channel don't mean somebody's gonna watch it, don't mean you're gonna get a following.
Yes, that's correct.
Everybody who's watching right now has a YouTube channel or Instagram channel, but every one of you ain't making money on this stuff and they're in a business or whatever. Why? This is the market. So women think because they can create a YouTube channel or an Instagram channel, because they can be in the market, they can determine they can have success in the market. The market lets anybody in, but the market gets to decide what success is. So all these women talking about they're going to hold out this and that, they cannot produce the outcome they say they want, and they don't want to settle for lower, so they're just going to hold.
He said they cannot produce the outcome that they say they want. That is very powerful. You want a high value man, and what do you have in return? Because even in as much as you're a woman, you're looking for a man that is well-to-do, a man that is rich, a man that can cater for you, a man that can fend for you. What you think the man is also not looking at for something? The man is also looking at for something. It is not all about you as a woman looking out for a high value man. It is not all about you as a woman looking out for a rich man. The man also is looking out for something. Let's continue.
Wait, party of one. Sad chick, party of one. Ebony the attorney, party of one. Marshall the marketer, party of one. Nancy's a nurse, party of one. Or the PhD or the doctor. Hey, Rita the realtor, party of one. Christine the creative, party of one. Erica the entrepreneur, party of one. Party of one. And one thing you're going to recognize is all these party of one women share one thing in common. They share one thing in common for sure. One of the one you've heard of the seven deadly sins. I'm going to start talking about the seven deadly sins for the seven deadly curses for modern women. And one of them is a lack of humility. A lack of humility. Most modern women are too impressed with themselves. That's why you can have a chick who's every bit of five.
So he said modern women lacks humility. Like they are not humble. They don't want to what makes them not to be humble in the first place? Kevin Samuel said he said modern women, they are not humble, they lack humility. Maybe that has to do with their status in life. Maybe it has to do with their status. Maybe this woman, she's a professional and she doesn't want to humble herself. Or maybe she has attained a particular status in life and that makes her don't want to humble herself. But at the end of the day, it doesn't work. If you're a woman and you don't want to humble yourself, when we talk about humility, it's not about it's not a context of uh, misplaced submission, because there's a lot of ideology, a lot of propaganda about submission, mostly in Africa. You know, in Africa where I come from, Nigeria where I come from, people has misinterpreted submission. You know, they see a woman, you as they said, woman submit. They pick that verse from the Bible and say a woman should submit unto her husband. The submission they are talking about, most of them, if you look at the interpretation they are giving to it, is like slavery. So, but you know, when they talk about submission, they don't look at the complete scripture when the Bible said a man love your wife as Christ loved the church. They don't get to that part of the Bible. They just stop at submission. Submission does not mean submission is different from you being humble. You know, if you look at when we look at the opposite of you not being humble, you become pride, or you become prideful, or you become proud. So when you are proud to your husband or to your man, I don't think that relationship is going to work. You are proud because you feel he cannot talk to you. You are the one that would dictate. You are the one that cut the shot. You can't have two captains in the boat. But what you know, I agree with a lot of things that I agree with a lot of things that Kevin Samuel stands for. I Though I don't agree with everything 100%, I agree with a lot of things that he stands for. So when it comes to humility, you a woman being humble, it's not the same thing with the way people misinterpret submission in Africa, where I come from. This video, I'm rating it with what's happening in Africa. So let's continue.
On a good day, talk about I'm a 10 because I got confidence. I'm a 10 because of this. I'm a 10 because of that. Then you turn around and ask, is there any room for improvement? Is there any room? Are you perfect? No. All right. Well, how can you be a 5, have 5 outcomes? You ain't never had nobody pay your rent, much less nobody even bought you a tank of gas in your life, much less pay your rent. And you talk about I'm holding out because I'm a 10 and such and so forth. Okay. How that gonna happen? Because today women are too impressed with themselves. They'll all think you're special.
She said today women are too impressed with themselves. Okay, let me compare that to women in Africa. I don't think that does not really work in Africa, where I come from. I don't think most women are too impressed with themselves in Africa, where I come from. Do you know why? There is poverty. There's lack of employment. The economy it goes down by the minute. I don't think most women in my country right now, in Nigeria, where I come from, they date because of survival. They don't mind. They don't mind to sleep with a dog. Some of them are sleeping with dogs today just because they want to survive. So What do they really have? Some of them, they don't have a chance. The society has not helped women where I come from. It has not helped. It has not even helped the men, talk less the women. There's so much poverty, there's so much corruption. So let's go.
You all think you think you're special. You think you're the sugar honey iced tea, and you tend to hear these terms. You know, women because they can do adult things. I pay my rent, I pay my car note, I pay my food, I buy my shoes. Congratulations.
You see what he just said? That women, American women, these are American women. I can pay my rent. I can pay. African women cannot. So this is where I'm going to. Africa, an average Nigerian woman. Where are you going? Where will you get the money to pay your rent and do all that? Where will you get the money? We depend on our men. Yes, a typical Nigerian woman depend on the husband to survive. So when this woman is going through abuse, when she's been abused in her marriage, when she's going through physical, emotional, and whatever type of abuse, she stays. She doesn't leave because she can't survive outside the marriage. She can't survive outside the relationship. She can't survive outside that man. Not like the Black American woman who can survive outside the man. The government give them SNAP. Government gives them a lot of government incentive, you know, that they can get from the government and survive. But what if an African woman, what does she get from the government? Zero.
Functioning damn adults. But women want credit for that like it's big, like it's something. So because they're a functioning adult, they want credit for that because they went to school. I'm a PhD. Nobody cares about your PhD. And I hear this bullshit about women are outpacing men in college, and they especially Black women. Yeah, let them say whatever they want to. Ask them what their net worth is. Most have a negative net worth because they got their masters, their PhD. They're making the ones that are making $100,000. Yeah, but how much student loan debt in? How much is your household debt? What's your consumer debt? Negative net worth means your social the things you want credit for ain't working. And why is this so important? Because today women have far too many women are too impressed with themselves.
She said far too many women are too impressed with themselves. I don't think that also works. That also works in where I come from. What do you have to be impressed about? What do you have? What is your net worth? Like you'll be say, okay, that will make you to be impressed with yourself. Most of them don't have anything to offer. They don't have. Society has not helped women in Africa. The government has not helped women. So most women depend on the men to survive.
Other than that, why do you think a woman who is average looking, below average physicality, below average weight, can sit around talking about they're going to hold out? Oh, wait, what are you waiting for? The answer is what many are waiting for is a sucker. They're waiting for somebody to go ahead and say, you know what? Even though you got 200,000 miles on you and had a couple of wrecks, I'm going to go ahead and pay brand new prices for it. Here's some of the attributes of an overly impressed party of one. They say things like, not all women are like that. They say things like, well, I don't know about that. I can't speak for that, but I know for me and mine. Yet, you're single as French toast. No generalization is valid because everyone is special. Because you haven't spoken to everyone on a particular subject.
Everyone is special.
You can't speak about it. Because until you talk to everyone and get everyone's opinion, it's not valid. They want the maximum amount of options with a minimum amount of restrictions. And invariably, they are hyper individualistic, which turns into this deification, almost this queen energy, to where they want a man to come along and to exalt them. And how does this show up? And I'm going over to Instagram. It shows up in women holding on, holding out, wanting a man to come into their life to partner with them to maintain, at least maintain, but they really want a man to come in and elevate their lifestyle.
Okay, so he said women, the modern woman want a man to come into their life to elevate their lifestyle. I don't think, personally, I don't think that is a bad thing. Why won't you want a man to come into your life to elevate your lifestyle in general? Yes, a man should be able to elevate you. Why would you go into a relationship or a marriage and instead of you to be going up, you'll be going down? No. So, but on the other way around, it's supposed to be both ways. It's not just you looking for a man to elevate you. That man is also looking for a woman to elevate him. So it shouldn't be one-sided. So let's continue.
So the question becomes, all right, then what kind of woman can answer these things? Or is the average woman, the woman that's in the 50%, is that something the average woman can ask for? Well, here's how women answer. Well, she can ask for it. See, women are doing this bifurcation thing today, guys, and I want you to pay attention. They're playing semantics. Well, she can ask for it. Yeah, you can ask your mama for a cookie before dinner, but that don't mean you get it, right? I want you to understand how women, how so many women, they'll play these games. They'll start talking about, and when they can't, they get in the corner, they start making up scenarios. Well, what if this probability happens? And at the end of the day, ladies, it doesn't serve you or anybody, it doesn't serve women well because you're becoming a party of one. Open Instagram in just a second because here's the reality. Many women are jealous of men, jealous of men's ability to maintain, to be in the market and actually get women. If a man can, as long as a man is productive, and competitive, he can pull a woman in the marketplace regardless of age.
Right.
Productive,
competitive. I say as long as a man is productive and competitive, he can pull a woman in the market regardless of age. That is a fact.
Competitive, successful men. Shout out to Theo Wow. You can hold out for a dog or PhD, ladies. Yet a normal, humble man will make a loving family. Yet a normal, loving man will make a family with you. Here's the thing. Theo, I actually referred somebody the other day to the things you're teaching. But here's the thing. He mentioned humble. Gentlemen, you're looking for a woman who brings peace and she has humility. There are plenty of attractive women who have humility, but they're not overly impressed with themselves. If you're dealing with a woman who's overly impressed with herself, don't waste your time. That's an uphill battle. And women who talk like this, well, why can a man exercise options and you can't? We're not equals. We're different in the sense that, but you don't hear men talking about, well, women get their stuff up front, blah, blah, blah. Ladies, many of you are going to have to come to grips with the fact that you've been marketed to, you've been lied to, the women before you have lied to you, media has lied to you. You cannot have it all. Life is about choices and trade-offs. And as a woman, the most accurate predictor of what you're going to be able to get, acquire, and maintain in the sexual marketplace is your sexual marketplace value.
Hmm.
That's fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative.
Your sexual marketplace value. What is that about? Let's listen.
Listen, that's how you look, that's how you carry yourself. And the thing is, you will attract far more men. But the men who keep women, the men who wife women, the men who make lives with women are looking for women who are assets. And they're not looking for women who want a man to get on her program.
Hmm. That is powerful. You say men who are in the market, men who are productive. They're also looking for women who are productive as well. They are looking for, it's not only about you as a woman looking for a man who can do everything for you. Don't you think that that man is also looking for a woman that can, even though the man is a high value man, he's also looking for a woman that can do everything for him? It's both ways.
Why is this important? Because far too many of you ladies are living your lifestyles. You like your place. You're impressed with yourselves, and you want a man to come along just like Eartha Kitt. You want Eartha Kitt. Eartha falls in love with Eartha, and you want somebody to share you being in love with you. That ain't how that works. Okay. So, are you on the road to being a party of one? Are you on the road to being a party of one? I don't know. But here's the question. If you are on the road to being a party of one, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'm going to do something real quick, and we're going to bring in the first. Is that what I want to do? We're going to bring in the first call. But here we go. Before we do that, let's do this.
So he's about to bring in the first lady. Please keep watching, don't go away. Subscribe to my channel, support this, my growing channel, my new baby channel. So let me push this forward a little bit. Okay.
Google Career Certificates provide online training for in-demand jobs. They're developed by Google. When you're in your marriage and being the way you were, what were you fighting for? You know what? I don't know. I just saw my mom do it. I did what I saw her do. Your mom was married? No, she just fought with all of her boyfriends and fought with us. Who has custody of the boys? How old is the youngest? 8. How often do they see their father? Not often at all. Why? He says he's not financially stable to see them or take them because I take all his money after the divorce. So he blames me for that. But I asked, I begged. Hold on. He doesn't. What state are you in? Pennsylvania. Do you get child support? I do.
This is where I'm going to. He was asking here that this woman, do you get child support? The woman said, I do. This is the beginning of this video. The women in Africa, they don't get child support. Some of these women, they don't even know what child support is about. They don't know what it means. I have a friend whose marriage fell apart, and the husband moved out of the home. This friend of mine has 3 kids, 3 young kids. The first child should be about 8 years old or 9 years old. This is a woman in Africa, in Nigeria, who don't aim so much. She's just a petty businesswoman who's not doing that well. The husband is the one that has been fairly taking care of the family. But now they had gone their separate ways. The man moved out. She had to file for a divorce. The man actually served her divorce letters, so she had to reply. But as we are talking, the man refused to pay the house rent, and this lady can't even pay the house rent. This man refused to pay the school fees of these kids, and this lady can't afford it. They've gone to human rights in Lagos, Nigeria. They've been going back and forth, and there's nothing to like you have in America when a man pays child support. You can't run away from it. If the government or the court, the family court, is saying you should pay child support, you will pay child support. But women in Africa, they don't even know what child support is. I'm sure some of them will be hearing what child support is maybe from this video. They don't know what is child support. So that is why women in Africa, they stay in this abusive relationship, abusive marriages, because if you leave, you're on your own. Some of these women, they die in this abusive. A lot of women have died already. There's this woman that died recently in Nigeria. Her name is Osinachi. It was all over the internet. Abusive. The society does not help. And where I come from is a highly religious society where people believe that God hates divorce. Where the society look at you, they stigmatize you if you leave your husband. They see you as, people believe that it's the woman that should make the home, whereas it's supposed to be both ways. But they believe that it's the woman, that the woman is there's a way the woman is looked at, as in, the woman is seen as it is your fault if your marriage is not working. And some of these men are abusive, and the woman will stay. The culture too. Some of this culture will say, once you are out, you are out. You can't come back to your father's house. But the major reason, I might not be 100% correct, but the major reason why a lot of women stay, apart from the society, is the fact that they cannot take care of themselves. Most of these women are not empowered. They don't have anything to offer. They depend on the man 100% for survival. So if they leave the marriage, how are they going to survive? That is why a lot of them stay. There's nothing like child support. If you leave the marriage, the government does not care. Even when you go to court, most of these judgments are not executed. After court judgment, they're not even executed. There's no follow-up to make sure that these judgments is or are executed.
I will not be able to take care of the kids. See? Okay, cut out the child support and have actual joint custody with your ex-husband. Straight up joint. 3.5 days with you, or 4 days with you, 3 days with him, 3 days with you, 4 days with him. No child support. Listen.
I'm advocating for child support. Child support in Africa. Child support. Because by the time a man in Africa knows that he has to pay child support, some of them will start thinking twice. Because it's not because most of these women, they just stay under these abusive men just because this man will not pay child support. The court system is flawed. The court system is flawed. The man will not pay child support. So this woman will suffer if she leaves. So most of them, they die in the marriage. Die in those abusive relationships.
Something different. It would also give your boys more time with the man they need to be with their father. If he's saying the money is draining him, Well, man, cut the child support off. Move in good faith. How will it hurt your boys if you cut child support and you actually have joint physical custody with their father? To where now the reason for the money is,
you see this joint custody that he talked about. In my country where I come from, you see some of these men, mostly the ones who are well off, and some of them are politicians, and they have high value, so-called high value men, maybe who are very wealthy. This custody that they talk about, they don't, the custody, the court does not give uh, uh, custody to the man. It's not about it's the man that calls the shots. Some of these women, they don't even see their children. They are not allowed to see their children. The men are very powerful. And these women can't see their kids. They go to social media. Social media is the court. Is the court that we have in Nigeria at the moment. The court, people come to social media to cry because the court system is flawed. Nothing is happening. I'm sorry.
It's gone because he has to pay for the money with him. You know, I want to do something. Boys don't see you that often, and I know you're in this way, and you say it's on me because I get the money. So here's what I want to do. I went down to the court and I actually terminated the support. I terminated the support order, and I want to have joint custody, joint physical custody with the boys. I give you about 90 days. Get yourself together to where you have a place to where the boys can come over there. So you should be able to do that with the money you get. There's videos on YouTube right here with women who have cut off support, cut off the child support, and been helpful to the ex-husband, and now they're in a better position. How does that hurt the boys? It doesn't hurt them at all, Kevin. So do you not think if you cut the support off, do you think he would? What do you think he would do? I think he wouldn't, because I think that. Huh? So you think if you cut the child support that he would not see the boys? Correct. We were separated for 5 years. And 3. So let me stop you right here. I want you to stop you right here. Yes, sir. You want to get back with the man who you said if you cut the child support off, you just keep the money and still not see the boys. Correct. So why you want to get back with a man with such a low character? If that's what you really believe. I literally believe in the sanctity of marriage. That's not what I asked. I asked, why would you want to get back with a man? Because see, there's fear here, and I'm trying to understand why you want to go back to this man. If you're saying I'm dealing with a man, if I cut the child support off and offer him joint custody, he'd just take the money and still be out of his boy's life. You don't think very highly of him. I don't, but I still. I mean, I'm married, and like I think that means something. I mean, I love my brother, and he may not be the best person in the world, but did you hear what you just said?
So guys, thank you. I'm going to end this video here. So
think about what I'm about to say.
So I'm still saying, women in America, the black women in America, you guys are, I'm looking for the word to use. You guys are lucky. Let me use that word. You're lucky. But women in Africa are not that lucky. You see a man who will cheat on a woman, impregnate another woman in a lawful marriage, and it is celebrated. He comes to social media and celebrates it like nothing happened. These women, a lot of them are forced to take it. They are forced to take it in. They are forced to swallow it, because if they leave, they don't have anything to fall back on. Thank you guys for watching this video. Till next time, I love you. Bye.